obvious me and Safari will never be. I was in the hospital bed with this man's son. That man didn't care if I made it through that pregnancy. That man didn't care if I made it through that labor. I really have fought through some dark time. Like literally, I couldn't get out of bed, guys. There was days I could not eat. But at the same time, I have to face my kids and I got to act like everything's okay because I'm the only one that feeds them on a day-to-day basis. Like I had to drag myself out of that dark place. With my first son, because I had to hustle so much, I sacrificed so much time away from my firstborn and I'm still trying to make it up to this day. And this is stuff that I've confessed, and been vulnerable with to him about. That's why it's weird that he knows traumatic experience I've had of being a single mother once and then he turns around and makes me a single mother twice. I've already come to terms that Safari will never really take accountability. And that's fine. He don't owe me nothing. All he owes now is his kids. And that's all I care about.
Safari, do you want to say anything at this point?
Come on, see this.
Grow up.
Shut the up.
You can cuss me out. I'm cool with it.
Speak, bro, because there's somebody out there like you. So you got to speak, bro.
I want you to be able to speak and not us speak for you. So if there's anything, this is the time.
I don't even know how to start.
Obviously.
All right, guys, listen. So we have been seeing this whole, child support battle, the amount of money, her crying over the internet on her getting $4,000 a month for both kids, and she was upset about it, although she was made in the court system the primary custodian of the kids. And so I have been hesitant on talking about this, okay? I have been extremely hesitant on talking about this until, until your girl saw this video on Instagram. I did not watch the reunion. I just saw this clip. I have not seen anything else. But I had to give my 2 cents. Okay? The thing is, a lot of women mistake a man that is silent with a man who is just, narcissistic. You know the words that they use, narcissistic. He don't care about nobody but himself. They like to brand these men as selfish and, all of these things because he's silent. But I would just like to be the bearer of information that sometimes silence is just signifying how much they are fed up with dealing with the other counterpart, that they no longer want to give attention, conversation, energy. They don't want to exchange nothing with you. That's just being real. Over and over again, we heard her constantly talking about, this kind of, sob story of everything that she's gone through. Me. It's so unfair. It's so this and so that. And you have the audacity to say that this person made you a single mother twice. But we all publicly saw around the globe that when you got pregnant the second time, he was not gung-ho about it. And he made that blatantly clear. This was not something he hid. This was something that you guys got into arguments about. He was not in that situation. You guys were not even in a good place when you got pregnant for the second time. It's interesting that she uses the words accountability and she's talking about him not taking any. But what about you? What about you? The thing is, I have watched the series. It's part of my job, okay? I have watched the series. I have seen the back and forth. I've seen these videos come up on social media. You scrolling, you see Shade Room, you see Safari's name, you see Erica's name, you see all types of drama, right? That are always going on. Him outside, going to parties. All these things that we always see, right? And I'm sure you guys who are familiar with the two of them have seen these things as well, right? However, here's the thing. Once upon a time, this woman what showed her combative nature against other women. Okay? This is not the homegirl. This is not somebody who's just this nice, innocent person who, is going through all these things and she has no character flaws. From my observation, okay, from what I have seen, this is a person who falls in love very rapidly. And when she does, she is putting on her best self for the sake of the relationship. She did it with Bow Wow. She did it with Safari. Like, she puts on her best self. She's so in love. She's never felt love like this before. She goes through the whole spiel. We've seen it. Time and time again. I have no doubt in my mind, based off of the effects and how she's been acting and reactive between, because of her breakup with him, that she did not love him or that she does not love him. However, love is not enough. It's not. You know what men value way more than how much you love them? How much you respect them. And there was a clip on the show that the two of them were having a disagreement, and she was singing the same sad tune, the same sob story, and he was sitting there unfazed. And whenever he spoke up, he finally said, "You're disrespectful. You changed. As soon as we got together, your mouth got disrespectful. We had the child. You don't know how to act. You try to talk down to me. You try to belittle me. You disrespect me as a man. You don't know your place." And that's where we have the problem. Because a lot of women want the man who is going to ride the ebbs and flows, right? They want the man who is going to be like, okay, you curse me out. I understand you have childhood trauma. You have problems. You have this. You have that. I'm going to stick it through. Oh, I understand you threw something at me. It's okay. You have traumas. I'm going to work it through. And from what I saw and from what he said in that conversation, it came across blatantly as, I'm not playing this game. I decided to commit to you for the rest of my life and marry you. I decided to have my first child with you. And you change, you flip the script, you start getting disrespectful, you start getting controlling, I'm out. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not playing this game. I'm not going to put up with this longer than I have to. I'm not going to drag this out. And still, she comes on and she sings the defense tune. Again, ironically, she talks about he's not taking any accountability. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. And, all she's saying over and over again is, what about him and this and that and that. But what about you? What about you? Have you ever said to him that you apologize for being disrespectful to him? Have you ever even said that? No, because your ego won't allow you to. Because in her mind, her ego is telling her, the woman ego, the woman empowerment, the sisterhood is all telling her, I'm right. I'm right. He's wrong. I'm right. I'm the prize. I'm right. It's because of him. They love to point the finger and point the blame instead of pointing the fingers at themselves and analyzing what got me into this situation. Because when the two of them got together, we did not see this version of her. She was all in, right? But he changed when she changed. And the minute that he said, I'm not taking this no more, I'm not taking the disrespect, I'm not taking your loud mouth, your rude attitude, I'm not taking all this, I don't care what the reason is, I'm not taking the disrespect. That's when she became more and more combative because she's not getting from him what she wants. But instead of fixing the issue, she just be getting more loud and more wrong. Instead of fixing it. Instead of fixing the real problem. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Because you know why? When I hear Scrappy Come on, bruh. Come on. Listen. Be quiet. I can't listen. If there's one thing I can't stand is when a woman and a man are getting into it and other men trying to make the other man be or say or do something. Because your wife talked to you crazy too. Like, if we're being honest. It's unfortunate. You know? And the reason why it's so unfortunate is because a lot of situations will happen like this and the women tend not to grow. They don't understand that this is where you get to grow and evolve as a person. When you're putting in a position that all of your flaws are shown to yourself. The man that you love, the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, is telling you you're disrespectful, this, that, and not for you to say, well, I'm doing it because of this, well, I'm doing it because of that. But for you to say, you know what? I want to save this. You're right. Let me evolve. And now you grow. When you sit in the I'm right and you have the sisterhood having your back, telling you that you've done nothing wrong and you're not the problem and he's the problem and he's immature and saying, putting all the blame on this man, it keeps you stagnant. Nobody can't tell you nothing. You can't evolve. You can't grow. You can't learn from nothing. Nobody can't give you no advice. Nothing. And of course, I don't know their personal life, right? My whole conversation is going off of what I've seen. Just like everybody else. But it's also representing people in real life with these real situations that go through these things. A lot of women, they be so loud and hyped to get a divorce. Oh, I'm leaving you. I'm this and I'm that and I'm taking my kids and I'm this and I'm that. And you just see them withering away. Everything that they're doing is trying to disguise the fact of how unhappy they are. Because they didn't leave for any other reason but because of that ego. The ego said, I gotta go. The ego said, I have to leave. Humility would have kept them in this situation. Because what they end up doing is trying to replace that person on every turn. It's impossible to have such strong feelings and such strong emotions against a person unless you love them. And that she does. But I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.